Okay, hi, I'm Leon Lovelace, and this is Unstoppable Force. Okay, I was watching one of Jordan Chariton's videos on TYT politics, and the guy was talking about how voting rights and the dismantling of our voting rights was one of the most, was one of the biggest stories that had been underreported. So I said, oh shit, man, this is important. So, because there have been stories about Republicans dismantling voting rights all across the United States. So I decided I need to dig up some information and do a news story on it. Okay, I have one. Okay, this is from the Center for American Progress. Okay, the integrity of U.S. elections depends on every eligible American being able to cast a vote that is counted. Yet this year, the first presidential election in 50 years without the full protection of the Voting Rights Act. Many Americans across the country were blocked from having their voices heard in the democratic process. States have gone on a spree restricting voting rights and voter access since 2010, when Republican-controlled state legislatures began passing voter ID laws and other provisions making it more difficult to vote. Once the Supreme Court gutted the Voting Rights Act in Shelby County v. Holder in 2013, even more states made it harder to vote in ways that were targeted at and fell disproportionately on people of color, young people, and low-income people. Even after major legal victories for voting rights this year, rulings that showed voter suppression tactics presented a grave danger and would prevent eligible Americans from casting their ballots. 14 states had new voting restrictions in place for the first time in a presidential election. These include cutting back early voting, restricting voter registration, and imposing strict voter ID requirements. It is difficult to say definitely how voter suppression laws affect voter participation and exactly how many citizens were prevented from voting. But one analyst in 2014 found a decline in voter participation of 2 percentage points to 3 percentage points that was attributable to changes in voter ID requirements. While final totals are to come, approximately 43% of eligible Americans and 47% of adults over 18 years old did not participate in this election. Some of them chose not to participate, while others were prevented from participating because of state voter suppression laws. A review of some of these challenges voters faced during early voting periods when casting their ballots on election day reveals the impact of voter suppression laws. Okay, this is a big problem in America. One of the big reasons why this is a big problem is because, number one, our political process and our political system is already corrupt. So making it more corrupt by stopping people from voting, especially black people and poor people, doesn't make the political system any better. It's not going to help our political process. It doesn't help any laws that are going to be passed at all. So that, number one, that's just shitty right there. Number two, the reason because you're focusing on black people. When you suppress and oppress black people, all you're doing is creating more problems and more uncomfortable situations in the black communities, and they're already suffering right now. That just creates greater inequalities and just greater injustice for those communities and for us as a whole. So that shit doesn't just help anybody at all. And the third reason why this is just totally destructive to the United States and to all these states in general is because a lot of progressives, maybe some Democrats, but a lot of progressives are going to have to fight to get our way in office and to repeal all these egregious and racist laws and make sure we put in equitable laws. So it's not just that you're crushing people right now, but we're going to have to go back, fight to take your ass out of office, and then rebuild our justice system, rebuild some equality in this damn political system, because it's just a whole bunch of corruption, a whole bunch of egregious stuff that just keeps getting passed, and we gotta fight to build this stuff back up. So those three reasons why we gotta get this shit out of here. And there's a lot of information here about voter suppression, so I'm gonna do at least two or three more videos because it's just a lot. So I just got to get through all of it.